blast from the past. A few of the long-term subscribers will remember when I broke my leg. Do you remember that? Everyone kept asking me, how did you do it, what was going on? And I was in the process of like was it a lawsuit? I guess it was. And I couldn't really say anything, and it was all a bit closed doors. But now that all fell through and went to shit because the lawyer I kind of had to have was just didn't give a shit. Seemed like anyway, just didn't care. And now, what was that, 4 years, 3.5 years later? I suppose I can talk about it because nothing's going to happen. It wasn't on a motorcycle, which is what everyone thinks. It wasn't on a motorcycle. In fact, it was on an escalator. I know, this is how my life is. It's just full of random events. I was in New Jersey, and it was like a client sort of, I think it was their client, their annual kind of bash. And I got invited to that on a kind of business/pleasure basis. And we went down to New Jersey from New York to go to some casinos and just have a laugh. And there was this one casino, and the lobby of this casino, I mean, it was huge, it was massive, and there was escalators going all the way up, kind of floating in midair. And early in the morning, I was kind of just hanging around, just trying to text people to see where they were. And I was standing at the top of an escalator, and you know when you go up the escalator, it kind of flattens out and goes forward a little bit. If you were to walk off walk off as an exit the escalator, and then do a 180-degree turn back to look back over the banister, you can imagine that little section between the kind of the wall of the escalator and the banister over the edge. I was standing there on the phone, texting, and my back was towards the big rubber belt thing, and I was wearing a shirt, and the tail of the shirt somehow got snagged in the mechanism. And then this is where it gets weird. This is where it gets freaky. So the tail got snagged in the mechanism, and it starts pulling me towards the banister, towards the edge. And this was maybe 100 foot, just sheer drop down below behind this glass wall. And I'm like, fuck. Oh shit. And I start thinking, oh, it'll stop in a minute. It was going to detect something's caught in there. And then I got wedged in the gap between the wall of the escalator and the wall of the banister. And it just kept on binding up more and more of my clothes and shit, and pulling me over the edge, basically. I was trying to grip on, and my leg was between the two. I couldn't grip on any longer. And it snapped my leg at the knee that way and threw me over the edge of the banister, 100 foot up. And fortunately, I don't even know how I did this. This was some kind of kung fu shit. I managed to twist, grab back onto the rubber belt, and I was just holding on, and I was just being dragged into the middle of nowhere, like with a 100-foot drop below me, just going, oh, fucking hell! And all these American hags were like going, oh my god, he's gonna fall! And everyone was like, oh! And somehow, I think some bloke who I never got his name or to say thank you, I saw him, I was like, man, push the button! And I'm just being dragged off into oblivion. And he pushed it, and I got dragged over by security. And that was that, really. That was that. And that's how I broke my leg. Well, that's how something broke my leg. And you know with me, nothing's ever normal or simple. So then also, that's where my kind of disdain for the media was cemented, because my lawyer was like, oh, you need to get it in the press, And I was like, really? I don't want to get it in the press. I'm quite a private person, I don't like it. So no, you need to do it. So, is this working? Yeah. Go into neutral, come on. So anyway, someone called me up, interviewed me about the whole thing, because it's quite a spectacular story. And then there was like, so what were you doing there, blah, blah, blah. And after the story kind of came out, it was just a load of fucking lies. It was like, it just wasn't the truth at all. And I was like, well, I didn't say that. I didn't say that on your recording. I didn't say that. But it doesn't seem to matter. People just want a sensational story. Can you accept my money? Accept my money. Accept my money. Is that on? No. God, you come on. Well, this is a fun game. Not sure how many times I can bear it. So these people kept ringing me up. Like, oh, so you know what happened? Oh my God, wow, it must have been terrifying. I mean, it was pretty terrifying. I was dangling like 100 feet in the air, holding on with both hands on this electric band, just going, ah, my dangly leg flapping everywhere. And once I was they were trying to egg me on to say more involved shit, and I was like, well, no, that it wasn't actually like that. It wasn't quite that sensational. They all just started to lose interest, and ultimately, lots of them just either made up shit or just didn't run the story because it wasn't, gruesome enough. They want to make it as exciting and gruesome and scary as possible so they can sell newspapers or advertising space or whatever it is that they are trying to push. And that was a really big eye-opener for me. And that is why I always treat anything I read in the popular press now with a massive pinch of salt, a fist of salt. Because I know that from experience, it's very likely just to be utter bollocks.